and all that stuff. All of my anal retentiveness. Howdy, how you doing, everybody? Howdy. One day I'll have an intro that's not country, but not today.
Little puppets. I got puppets.
Look at them. So cute.
I'm waiting for the little devil to fall off the chair.
Yeah.
Regular mother goose over there.
It's just a 3-ring circus now.
Jenny was telling us that Lucy's warming up to the little devil, Becca Bellatrix. And I was telling her, I was like, that's because Becca like super glued herself to Lucy. And she's like, you're going to love me no matter what.
Everywhere Lucy goes, there's little Bella right behind her.
I mean, once you realize this, they're not leaving, then you gotta, either I like you or I leave. And Lucy ain't going nowhere.
She's playing with them some, but man, she doesn't stick her claws out, but you hear pop, pop on their little heads. Like, I told you.
She's still the boss now. Don't get it twisted.
It's That's little Bella, though. She was smart. She went and found, became teacher's pet.
Yeah.
Sucked up to Lucy to get on her good side.
She imitates her. I was telling Becca, Lucy, when she comes to bed, she makes biscuits in my armpit every night. And I have to stuff like blankets in my armpit because she comes up and starts making biscuits. Well, little Bella lays down beside her and she's just like making biscuits like this, Auntie Lucy.
That's too cute.
Just imitating her.
Love it.
This is why I have no pets. Pet rocks. That's it.
Cards, that's about it.
So, Jen, you got anything coming up? Anything you want to mention?
Let's see. I'm getting my tooth implant done on Tuesday, so send angels. Nothing next Monday, not tomorrow, but next Monday, Sacred Sounds of Coffee on Jody Roberts' channel.
Also, if you want to email Jen for a reading, you go to JenLynn Tarot, TAROT.com. We were just discussing that a reading she'd done for me about my relocation. Like, I moved here, for those who want to know where I am. I'm in the woods. I keep telling you. But she said, when you move, it'll be temporary. And I'm thinking, because I've never had a temporary move. Well, no.
And so Johnny was like, no, when he'll find a place and we'll move in.
And we did, and we're here, and we're moving again. So we will be elsewhere. So anyhow, so that has come to pass. So you go and you get yourself a JenLynnTarotReading.com. I just thought I'd let y'all know.
See how many times you're gonna move.
My poll is on 6. Just crazy.
Well, what do you have? Oh, speaking of Adrian, before you go to Adrian, who am I talking to? Am I talking to me? I guess so. Before you go to Adrian, TarotsApprentice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I got these. These are kitchen towels, and I'm not using them because they're so. I'm gonna have to find a way, maybe shadow box them or something.
So
and put them on the wall. Nice. You don't use these old dishes.
I always have dish towels you hang just for the look.
That's what that was the intention, was you like hang it on the.
They don't belong in the kitchen.
Hang it on the oven, so it's more of just like a cute decorative, and not like we're gonna use these sons of bitches that use these all the time.
Okay, I can. Okay, because I need oven mitts, and maybe this can be them. Then.
I wouldn't use those for oven mitts because they may burn right through your hand.
No, this is really thick.
It looks okay. Well, they
don't. Now, mind you, before we even continue with this discussion, I'm not taking these in the kitchen. I've already decided. So, never mind even all that. They're going to stay in here. I just need to find a way to display them.
What I just need you to know is when those burn right through your hands, is not responsible for third-degree burns occurring. Cheap kitchen towels that are pretty but cheap as oven mitts.
I like those. That's all right. I was born in hell. I'm used to fire. I'll be okay. But speaking of, Adrian, do you have anything coming up? Anything you want to mention?
I don't know, life. But if you want to book a reading or buy products, go visit redlentilhealing.com.
And you have your baths, but you had like a special if you bought all three.
All three of the ritual baths, instead of them being like $18, $19 each, it would be like $55, $56. If you buy three together, it's $49.99. So you save like 15. It's like 17 something %. I also created a new product yesterday. Once I'm no longer lazy, I will take pictures and put it on the website. It's a success spray. So when you want to go with your success wash, you want something good to happen. You just
I'm actually
apparently it smells really good because I keep spraying it.
So go get some of that. As I say, I always swear by the pain be gone and the cracks and crevices. So you make sure redlentilhealing.com, BeccaLenormand.com. What you got going on? No,
Nothing.
You know how we do. Just pop up.
Here.
Do you feel better?
I do. As you can hear, I'm no longer congested and all screwed up like I was from the cold that just hung around for weeks and wouldn't go away. But yeah, I'm better.
Peanut's doing good.
Yeah, Peanut is fine. He just came back. He was out for the weekend riding his bike and he crashed himself. So his whole side is all jacked up. I'm like, dude, really? Like, stop trying to kill yourself, man.
So
I'm
he's
too
not
old and
fine.
swapped out to be a widow. Okay. Like,
He's not fine.
he's just like, he crashed his bike. So it's just all like this real nasty on his side. I'm like, dude, stop. Or at least wear like some hockey gear when you go. So when you fall and you just kind of, but
Get him a bubble suit.
I know
We-
those bubbles.
Stop falling off of stuff, man.
Please and thank you.
Gravity knows you.
Okay.
Okay. For me, I do a daily live stream Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern. So 5, 6, 7, and 8 Hawaii, do your own time. But we'll start here. Oh, for those who want to take the class. Oh, no, not want to take the class. For those who emailed me about the class, it starts this Friday at 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Mountain, 2 o'clock Pacific, I think 11 o'clock Hawaii, something like that. I sent you all the email out, so if you still have up until the 2nd to actually pay for it. And you do not have to have the Rider-Waite deck, but I will be teaching from the Rider-Waite deck. Decks that I recommend are the Radiant Rider-Waite because it has the name listed on it as well as the numeral or the Roman numeral. So if you have problems reading those. Or you can go to debride.com and get a Rider-Waite from there and use my discount code TAJ. Yes, I do get a commission for full disclaimer. So you can get one from there too. That is a Rider-Waite, but it's in more brilliant color than the regular one. So I'll see y'all Friday.
For those that are considering it, I've had several people that I've read for that took Johnny's class that just loved it. You're an excellent teacher. So if you've been thinking about learning tarot, as Johnny says,
It'll be fun. At least I'll
can't
have
get a
fun.
better teacher.
So, yes, what is going on? Oh, she has bronchitis. Okay, I didn't know what was going on with Miss Lori. So Lori has bronchitis. So you got to put her on the prayer list.
Yes.
Okay. We'll start with a curiosity of mine, if we could. Vince McMahon is or was the CEO president of World Wrestling Entertainment. He stepped down in the midst of hush money payments he was making towards secretaries and paralegals. They weren't actual paralegals. They were just hired in as paralegals, but they were just, his playthings, I guess. And we're now up to $20 million over the years in hush money payments. Now, $5 million of these dollars have gone to Donald Trump, actually.
Fix my face. Fix my face.
But it was before he was president, like a long time ago. He funneled it through his charity. He didn't even give it to him directly in his own bank account.
The charity that Eric
That
stole
Letitia
from.
shut down too.
Yeah.
So why did Vince McMahon give Donald Trump $5 million? He wasn't president, so it wasn't for favors. Well, not
He
president.
he was running though.
Wow. Wow.
Because his wife was in Donald Trump's administration. She was the leader of the small business thingy. And he's known Donald Trump for like 30 years. So, you know, they're old pals.
Wow. You colored me pickled on that one. Good Lord.
I get Trump was undergoing from maybe Celebrity's Apprentice or something, was undergoing like major legal issues that he was trying to block. So he offered this up to him, but I get like major, strong legal issues that he was going through and trying to change the details of how that worked out. He gave him money, he talked to him, he gave him advice, gave him support.
Mm-hmm.
Legal problems, bailing him out.
There's definitely something that he was super burdened by, and there was something he didn't want an action to take place. So it was kind of like not necessarily even hush money, but like, could you make sure this goes away? Money, because there's something that was going to be illuminated with the sun. Again, the challenge was making sure it didn't come out. King of Wands stopping it. It was like I got similar cards that Jen got because I saw Jen had a death card and the Tower. Got these two. Crowning at the base of this, there's something he needs to kind of from coming out. A perspective we need to not come out. Super, super burdened. Maybe even I wonder too, Jen, you're saying legal stuff too. I wonder if the legal stuff too is something financial or like some financial misdealing.
Like fines.
Yeah, something. Because the burden with the King of Pentacles in the past, he also was currying some favor too with the Two of Cups in the environment. Can I get you to buy favor for me? Again, the word of warning though is the money. This is a financial, whatever trouble he's in that Jen was saying that could be illegal, it's got a financial tie to it. But it was all about getting Three Cups celebration, getting out of the dark water.
The money was for work. It wasn't for charity. It was like for something for work, whether that was legal issues or what. That Tower card flipped out when I was shuffling and then it came out again. What you getting, Becca?
So the question was, why did the McMahon guy give Trump $5 million? I get to keep it quiet because he has knowledge of a pregnancy. Storks, pregnancy, book, knowledge, keep it quiet. So I could be wrong.
Art imitates life, I suppose. They had a lot of times there was a storyline on his wrestling show that he had an illegitimate son. So
when you said Ed, what's his name? Ed McMahon?
Vince McMahon.
When you said Vince McMahon, I was thinking in my head, Ed McMahon? Like, but I asked for Vince McMahon, and I'm getting that he's been, was he married for a long time? Because it was Lily's Ring and Coffin. There's an old marriage that would have come to an end if the if the knowledge of the pregnancy came out.
Mhm.
So, because it was Lily's ring, coffin, and then storks and book. That's unless I'm misinterpreting it, but
I get it's through the charity because Trump is hiding from Texas here. So that's through the charity. That way, instead of just giving it to him directly. But it is meant for a favor of some sort. The Nine of Cups and the Eight of Swords. There's something Vince desired, and he figured this was the route to get it. He felt a little powerless in it too, with the Eight of Swords. You had options, but for whatever reason, he felt as though he didn't, because the Four of Cups is here too. But the Ten of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, there was favor being garnered. Like, I need you to work in a capacity for me, which is like I said, odd because he wasn't president, but he still is garnering favor from him somehow, some way. I need you to do something. King of Pentacles, there's your fence there, and the Eight of Cups. He wanted to get away from something. Like he needed it to be separate and apart from him and his company. Okay. Anna Rothschild, aka we don't know her real name as of right now. She was at Donald Trump's golf course in participating in the golf tournaments and all these type of things. She is a Russian-speaking Ukrainian
Spy.
Now, she was there. She convinced everybody at the golf club and in the golf tournament and everything else that she was a descendant of the Rothschilds. And right now she is in Miami. And what I want to know first is, what did she get from Donald Trump? Because she was there. She was a spy.
For over a year.
Nobody else knew it.
Secret Service couldn't figure it out. Nobody saw through it. Took them a year.
my mirror is not tilted. I have you guys propped up on pillows. The pillows are what's making it look wonky.
It's the funhouse effect.
And if it's tilted, it's in your house. Tilt it if you want to.
Everything in my house is tilted.
OCD.
Fake passports, fake IDs, grifting all over the place.
I hate Lucky Girl because in my mind, I was re-asking the question as I'm pulling the cards to get the connection. And I said, what did he give her? And then I said, other than, and I said what Lucky Girl said. And then I was like, I hate her because now I got to reshuffle and take this seriously. All over again. I hate you. I hate you and you're making me right. Try this again. What did he?
Sitting at the back of the class smoking Camels. That's easy. Stop it.
Mostly I get access to his work, access to people he worked with, just free access. She went in there. I've got Justice looking at her now. She's been there a long time. She clung to him rather closely, and she was breaking into work and stuff. She's seen a lot of powerful people there. So she's made connections that she then went on to work with. So she helped him make connections. He helped her make connections to people she could grift.
Yep.
And then she was like going to be successful and move on.
Same. Access gave her something. Same thing. Justice. He also gave her something tangible, but that tangible thing could have been, I don't know, maybe something that's in those boxes that may
classified document.
But there's something tangible that he gave her with access justice files to our safety. Also gave her, whispered in her ear and gave her information. So we need to watch that because she's got not just information and things that he gave her tangibly in access, but he told her like the new code 54773 kind of thing. And then also, yeah, for her to be shady and manipulative so she can go on a new track, a new career, something that can help her start a new way of life, being with person who has access to things that she shouldn't have access to. Let's just put it that way.
She showed up all by herself here. There she is, Heart Woman. Book, Crossroads, and Sun. She got a couple of secrets to do with energy. Something classified, a few of them. Perhaps trying to get knowledge as well on how decisions are made to do with something that has to do with energy. But I get secrets. A couple of them are multiple, and then there's energy or success. So that's what I get.
I get she got to work with someone here who might be deceased now. Here, whoever that is. There's also some messages or correspondence that have to do with like not allies. Well, I'm going to say that. Thank you, Joanne. But there's the correspondences here. This is messages back and forth. Somehow, some way. I don't know if she got something planted or whatever, but she's like receiving something, but it's coming from overseas. It's not necessarily all of the people who are allies, but maybe allies to him, like Turkey and Russia or something like that. There's also something obscure here with the Four of Cups and the Moon. She is hiding. And that's why, to the next question, FBI is probing her. Now, mind you, she is not currently under arrest because she hasn't been charged with anything. But the FBI is investigating her, and Canada also is investigating her for money fraud and all that type of stuff. So, what will the FBI probe find out, if anything?
Yes, I am multitasking, brilliant. Entertaining kittens, keeping them out of the tree, and shuffling. For those who are saying that the stream seems a little pixelated, if you go into your little wheel settings thing, you can increase the number of pixels and the quality. That a lot of times will fix that.
Because it'll automatically default to 720. Change it to 1040 or 4K if you can.
Mine defaulted down to like 300 something when I went in on mine on YouTube, so it'll default
To
pretty
40.
low.
Mine is.
Can I add something as well? The previous reading that we just did about what did she find, I had pulled a double line of 5, but I only showed one on the camera. The top one was man, child, lilies, clouds, and stars. And then the bottom one was the one with the woman, the Heart Woman, book, Crossroads, and Sun. I'm wondering if she was there looking for stuff on a man that's new in a position of seniority. So I'm wondering if she was there looking for stuff perhaps about the Ukraine.
That's very plausible.
Yeah, I'm getting they're going to find some trees and things, and I also get there'll be an action taken against her. So it looks to me like she'll get indicted. But there, whatever it is, she holds it very close to her chest. I get with the FBI, it causes them anxiety, it can be treasonous, and things that were moving around to other leaders. So information that she was sending around. I get, a lot of justice for the family. They're going to regret letting her around because she's collaborating with some dark people. All goes hand in hand, and she's like a security risk. Like they should have ended her security.
Yeah. It is super burdensome, Jen, because we still don't even know the extent of who she's with and who she's been dealing with. And this is our challenge. It's the FBI's challenge. This is also now our challenge to take the burden that is going to be put on us because of her. They're also going to find how she manipulated money. That's it. Or not that's it, that's all, but that's the biggest thing. And how she's just the confusion, delusion, lying. It's bad. She gives me more angst than anything that we've read on so far. This one's going to be bad.
And they already had that Chinese spy there back when Japan was visiting. So, this isn't the first time they've had a spy there.
Thank you.
The place is just swarming with. I'm just let me shut my mouth. I get to that it leads to more investigations. Who financed it, and also perhaps people that work there as well, because I get Fox is the outcome. So new workers that are there, everybody up and down the chain. That how did this person get through? Investigating into who funded it, who was gifting her the money to do it, who she was taking her orders from. But it leads to more. It leads to more investigations. Like it just more work. Does that make sense?
Because she didn't act alone. It's a web of these type of people. I still get, again, there's something to do. I don't know who, don't know how. A deceased person here, someone who is deceased. I still get that. I don't know the connection directly, but guess we'll keep an eye for that. But what do they find? They find conversations. They find hidden material. There might be something about maps as well, but there's definitely captured correspondence of something that she may have intercepted herself. And some sort of bully tactic. So kind of back to your point about the Ukraine thing too. So maybe there was some sort of information taken for that too. Okay. So now what does Canada find? Because Canada is also going to investigate.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Please.
There's a whole network. It's not just her. Because this has been set up for a long time, and I get there's connections to Putin and people that work with him. Everybody is connecting. I'm getting there's like at least 2 more people they're going to catch in the network, but there's more than that in the network. There is something about a death of somebody too. You're right, Johnny.
Like big time, because this is at the crown and the base for me is the completion and death, which usually these together is always death. It's like actual.
Yeah, like we need this person to be taken out. They got to go.
That's basically at the crux of what I got, that somebody was assassinated, taken out. there's going to be some illumination too about, I hate to say this, but not really, the GOP or somebody connected to them. So like I think you were saying earlier, like Putin and like those dealings and the financial windfalls and dealings with that too. But I think this, whoever, for entertainment purposes only, whoever was walked to the forest, that's going to be, and the ties, behind, the linkage and things behind that's going to be the biggest revelation.
The people that got unalived. So what is Canada going to find on her? I get the network of people that are working on it to burden the government. It's a very difficult government. It's a authoritarian government, but they find the network of people. Opportunity. There's your network, your whole group of people, and there's the workers, the teams, who they're teaming with. That's what I get. They may find a couple of institutions as well because it ends in tower. But it's like they find the team, the hub, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they do more to her than they did Maria Butina, who Trump let go back to Russia and be a news broadcaster.
Mm-hmm. I get there is some sort of conglomerate with the Ten of Pentacles, some sort of group of them, but it's almost like a company setup type of thing. It may be in a location that is either named after somebody royal or is on the street of somebody royal, or the person at the top of it has some sort of royal connection even. But there's a Seven of Swords and the Three of Wands. There's the schemes. It all takes place there. It's sort of like they hatch up the plans here and get things ready and ship it out to other places. So they maybe hire people to go here, go there type of thing. But the work starts there. And so I think they're going to find sort of the core, not really the core, because I guess the core could, be probably Russia somewhere, but you're going to find a huge number of them and thus expand the investigation, and then more investigations start. And then, oh my gosh, it is so much easier to live a simple life. I can't imagine being a crime lord. Like, what the heck?
I'm just sitting here thinking about our national security. You have to imagine that our NATO friends and our allies are currently crapping their pants. They have to be crapping their pants. That all that stuff was in some dude's house with spies rolling all over the place.
I gotta believe some people like Rand Paul ought to, it's no wonder he's saying, oh, this was illegal, they shouldn't have gone in Mar-a-Lago. Well, yeah, Mr. Mailboy that hand carried a letter to Putin, shut up and sit down. It's like they're worried that all their connections are probably going to come out.
That. I was just like, they need to shut up and sit down.
Yeah. The more they talk, the worse things get.
It's getting, because I'm like, you better believe once they start exposing those documents, all that stuff that he stole about y'all and y'all's dirty dealings and y'all's dirty underpants.
And Biden's approval rating just keeps going up, as we said it would before the midterms.
So that kind of piggybacks to this question then. How worried is the intelligence community based upon Trump's actions right now? So there has been an article I read that basically everybody's hair is white at the moment. Because they're right now not just saying what he did was bad, they're now assessing the damage, which means there's damage that has been done. They're assessing the damage, like what we don't even know the extent of our own compromised national security, foreign security, we don't even know, because we don't know what he did with any of that stuff once he got it.
Even Fox News is saying, okay, they gave him a year and a half to give those boxes back. So they're even like,
it's bad. And just think, who took pictures, who scanned documents, it's the spillage. When I told you my brain exploded, my brain exploded. It was on the wall. I'm like,
It was a petting zoo, basically. Like, hey, come on in and take a tour through the documents. No, it would have been too much press if Putin comes over. So Miss Anna Rothschild comes instead. It's too much press if his 2 spies that he had in the Oval Office comes over. So let's let Bill and Ted and Red and Stimpy and Mario and Luigi come in and let them do it. And then they can look, and then they can scan, and then they can take pictures, and then they can go over, and nobody's the wiser. It's like, what?
And I think I saw something on Twitter that they have the security footage at Mar-a-Lago, and it shows people walking in and out of these rooms with boxes and people that do not have the clearance removing the paperwork from the box and putting it somewhere else.
Thank you, Super Truthful.
Thank you, Super Truthful.
So what was the question, Johnny?
How worried is the intelligence community right now?
Because he also uncovered a lot of names of our secret people overseas whose lives are now in danger.
Like Bush, out in our own spies. Like, can we not do that at the moment? Good God in heaven.
I'll start. There are some that are actually very secure and okay, victorious. And that's so weird. It's like, why is it the 6 of Wands?
That's why I started.
Yeah, it's because they were not delusional. They told, and they've been waiting for this to happen. Because they sat back with the Hermit, withdrew, and then with the 3 of Wands, waiting for that ship to come in. They planted the seeds. They have been telling. They have been saying this. On the flips, so there's some that are like, how do I say this? They CYA'd, and then CYUS's A as well. If you catch all the acronyms, and did the best that they could. There are others, though, that have screwed the pooch. I would not be surprised if you start seeing some resignations. Page of Cups, 4 of Swords, delusional wishful thinking. They may have to, as the end, they may have to just, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and walk away because I know I'm about to possibly be in handcuffs soon. I sat and I let this happen. I sat back while Ricky, Johnny, Bobby, and Mike were screeching. I either didn't think it was that big of a deal. I either gave them the key to let them do it, or I was complicit in the cover up, just not to protect Trump, but to protect us so it wouldn't get out. It came out anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull a Jeff Sessions and recuse myself, i.e. quit. That's how you're gonna see this play out. Some are very confident, they're cool, they're okay. I know I did the right thing. And some are like, yep, and I'm going to go ahead and have to exit stage left.
I'm getting that they blocked, like, the transfer of information to somebody. Because I get they're satisfied, that they were watching and everything, and businessman Trump coming up with this new idea, maybe to sell something. They were waiting for just the right time to take this through the courts, to transition this. And I think the next thing we're going to find is some of the money that Trump may have made off of some of this. So I think they've been watching him longer than we realize. They were just waiting on the right time to go after him, and knowing he had stuff that was affected our security. I don't see they feel we're in danger too much. Yeah, we're strong because they took something away from somebody, or kept somebody from getting the right information.
I get that they're shitting bricks. Nervous breakdown, shitting bricks. Chronic anxiety, like this is like mental breakdown, like, oh my gosh. And then I got Clouds, Tower, and Ring. Serious continuation of issues. And there's going to be a crap storm coming legally here. It's already done. It's committed. It's just a matter of achieving it. So I get like fire, like make it times a million, and they're already looking at there has to be legal repercussions for this. You know, what was that, Adrian?
I was going to say, your explanation explains why I haven't heard from not nary one of my federale friends. They've been real quiet. And not saying right. I think they just, what I know of the people, they're on that group I talked about earlier, like, here's the receipts. I'm going to say it out. But I think they're just like, and we need to just
shut our mouth.
See them for a minute, and I bet you when I see them, they don't have some gray hair.
And they got to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
And how many of them sit on intelligence committees? You can't tell me with good faith that these people are like, yeah, they may go out there in front of the TV to appease his supporters, but you know, behind closed doors, they are crapping their pants. Like, you know.
I get, there's some worry about what was stolen here. You got the win at all costs, the dishonor, and the Four of Pentacles stuff that's supposed to be held close. However, I don't get meltdown because I get the Six of Wands, the people who have the center of attention, and then the Magician. They're very capable. Like, even though this is like panic button situation, because the leader of your country had his secrets, your secrets, everybody else's secrets in his hotel that has spies coming in and out of it and probably waiting tables, even, who even knows? That's another question we'll ask. But there's intelligence that has intelligence to the point where this piece of paper cannot leave this room. Not only can it not leave this room, Mike Pence can't even see it. Like, it's that kind of specific when it comes to some of those documents, to where Donald Trump and one other person, maybe the only two people in the world who get to see this piece of paper, and then it's sitting in his hotel somewhere. But these people are very capable of national security and intelligence. So at some point, we have to not be so afeared of everything and say, if they got it, they got it. Because I can't do your job and I'm not going to, so you're going to have to do it. Just like the people who are manning all of the nuclears right now to make sure they don't all melt down and we're not a crater tomorrow morning. So we have to put some trust in that, just not Donald Trump. But they're more worried about the leaders of the world with the Emperor, the Hierophant, and the World card. This doesn't just look bad in terms of national security. It looks bad as an alliances too, because their information is also probably sitting in his hotel room somewhere.
He had stuff on Macron.
So it's not just us. He affected the world. I mean, he was our plague. So
you have to remember the nuclear codes are changed all the time. They're changed with new presidents. They're changed throughout the year. So that's why they have the guy with the bag that follows the president everywhere, that supposedly, with the handcuff bag that has the codes, because they change them all the time.
And launching a nuclear bomb is not like he sits on a desk and pushes a button. There's a whole process.
Who calls Bobby, who calls Johnny, who calls Maylene, who calls Cincinnati Slew, who calls Redheaded Ricky, and it's just they all have to come together.
They'll just give him one of those little fake red buttons from Staples that you push, and it says,
I mean, that's what I did.
And just take him a Coke every time, a Coke Zero every time he presses it.
And I think the biggest concern may be human intelligence.
Yeah.
Human intelligence, and even our weapons and stuff, like where they're located and stuff like that. Yep.
And who wants to bet $5 right now that behind the scenes they going and moving stuff? They're just like, oh hell, all of that stuff has been changed. And really, let's say for over a year, because they've known for over a year that son of a gun had that stuff and didn't give it back.
Yeah, dog. Okay.
But and also the day one when Biden took office, he cut off his intelligence briefings.
Thank God.
They knew day one. Biden knew before he took office, because he wouldn't accept the Secret Service they assigned to him. He was like, no, I want the guys that were my Secret Service before.
They knew.
He knew.
I'm sorry, but when you show up to your new house, you ain't got no key, the door's locked and the lights are off. That's side number one. That some bullshit is afoot.
And the guy that just left just crashed the place with a mob. So
You
I
can't
mean-
find in presidential dishes.
If you steal the Lincoln bust, you'll steal anything. So yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean that's on video. Him, some guy carrying the bust of Lincoln out of the White House and putting it in the back seat of his car. It's on video.
Didn't he hire somebody before when he was president? He hired a staff, or he had a staff member or somebody that worked for him go overseas and steal something, and they ended up stealing a fake. It wasn't the real thing. Oh my
I
God.
kind of remember hearing something about that, but I don't
Okay.
remember the details.
I don't remember what they stole, but he sent somebody overseas to steal something from the embassy, but it turned out to be a fake.
But the Library of Congress, they got records of everything that's in the White House, so they know exactly what he stole. It's like, all right, let's get him on all the dangerous stuff, and then and by the way, he stole this and this and this from our house, our nation's house.
And then send them the bill for the plumbing every time he clogged it from flushing classified documents down the drain.
Okay. Wait.
Hi, Munchkin.
Let me grease my lips. I'm gonna talk a little trash, just a little taste.
Okay.
I did a reading 2 times actually on if Donald Trump is in any actual trouble. From the Jan 6 committee, then I asked if the walls are actually closing in. I got the Ten of Swords twice in that one reading because I used the deck that has 2 Ten of Swords. And then, because one says everything is fine and then the other one has the Ten of Swords in it. Yes, that one right there. And the other one had the Ten of Swords in it as well. And I'm like, okay. And then the raid happened after that other one. But so it looks like it is. The walls are closing in on Donald Trump. Now what I want to know is he any real trouble from the DOJ? And then I have a follow-up question after that.
The art of the steal.
Keep your paws off my ornaments. You're going to be in jail with DJP.
Then he gets that. See?
She's like, "Whoa, I'm out of here." Don't touch me.
Oh, shit.
The threat works.
You know when you ask a question so good and you throw up one card and you ain't got to throw no more of the cards? Scene. I'm not even gonna pull no more.
I mean, they'll leave a
Velveeta Baltimore. I saw it. I was like, damn.
oh, Gary Union names. Oh,
I'm sitting here thinking, damn, mac and cheese sounds real good right now.
I sure do. No one is gonna steal my
I had
guts.
some yesterday from a restaurant close to here, and it sounds so fantastic. The white cheese, this and the da that, and you get it. That stuff was just as dry as sandpaper. I'm like, what's happening here?
How the hell do you make mac and cheese so dry?
I'm telling you, since I got here, I done been to 2 places. One with the tasteless Mexican food, and now the dry macaroni cheese. I'm like, y'all cooking like me. Y'all got to step up y'all's game. What's
Well, I get he's looking at jail time. It's like talk about major arcana, completion with the devil, sharing information that belongs to America, and Garland versus in the Justice Department here, partnering together. It's just a matter of time. Is it taking him to court for affecting our national security? There's other options. Is it abuse of power? Is it treason? Is it colluding with others and conspiracy? Is it for hanging on to work he should have given back? There's an indecision about what to get him with first.
Yeah, pick one. Like the wheel of
All of the above. If you're an option D for all of
On
the
the
above.
bottom, he's trapped. He's trapped and looking at jail time.
Oh my gosh.
I'm coming to California next. That's where I'm moving to. Just for those who want to solve the mystery, that's where I'll go next.
I told Johnny, I was like, because I saw that comment about California, I'm like, how the hell do you screw up Mexican food?
It tastes like
Probably like wet feet.
I cooked it. It had no seasoning whatsoever, and I'm not even a little. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Well, this is what I got.
What is that? The Five of Pentacles and Judgment? Is that Judgment?
Yeah. I pulled the Judgment card. I pulled the Judgment card first, and I said, "Well, I don't need to say anything else." And I was like, "Well, let me keep going." And then it was the Five of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, Death, Ten of Swords, the Tower. So I said,
didn't I tell you, Fred?
It's interesting, Johnny, because I've watched all those videos where you kept getting the Ten of Swords. None of us got the Ten of Swords.
my face
Unless
is
you
big,
did.
but it's not big enough to hold all of those cards. So I'll see if I can pick this one. No, you know what's
like,
fucked up?
I was
That's messed up.
I was wondering what Adrienne was doing. I just saw the top of her head down there. I don't. Yeah, it's guaranteed, and it all revolves around thievery. So, stealing the elections, criminal conspiracy. This would be a conspiracy to a group of people working together to steal. But it's around stealing. So, pick a crime. Georgia, where they have them on tape. The insurrection, the fake electors, the stealing document. Pick one. It's around criminal conspiracies and stealing. So that's what I get.
You know, when you want to overthrow the government and have a coup and you boo-boo on the walls of the Capitol, people just don't take too kindly to that.
And then you take a bunch of top secret documents down to your home and think nobody cares.
Yep.
Well, you wouldn't let me say, so I'm going to take this with me. It's mine.
It's mine.
Okay, go ahead. Keep digging the hole. I told you I'm going to buy that dumbass a caterpillar so he can make digging his own grave a lot easier. You know?
I don't have any problems with him keeping the little map he drew on with the Sharpie for the tornado or hurricane down in Alabama. Keep that if you want. We don't need that. You know, he claimed he wanted it for his presidential library too at one time. I'm all like, dude, you ain't gonna have a presidential library because it's just another way for you to grift money.
You'd also have to know how to read to have a library.
I mean, we're talking about a guy that published a picture book of his Twitter's greatest hits. Remember that? Every other president actually wrote a book or had somebody ghostwrite it. No, he came out with a picture book of his Twitter, top hits. And
he didn't write the art of the deal. He just put his name on it. So the question is, everybody's saying it. Everybody's saying it. Will he be indicted? Everybody's saying it.
He's in the wilderness, Aunt. She said he's there.
Lord have mercy.
Yesterday's a hard word for him, Miter.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego going?
I butcher words often, but I don't think I've ever butchered yesterday. That's like a whole
Yesterday, that's a hard word for me. Well, anything more than one syllable is hard for you.
Yesterday is hard. Say the name. Pronouns, pal, like your pal Vince McMahon always says. Say Monday, say Wednesday, say Thursday. Don't say yesterday.
All my troubles seem so far away. And now it seems as though they're here to stay.
Oh, don't get Johnny demonetized.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
There's a copyright on that.
We won't be.
Oh, sorry.
Parody, YouTube parody.
This man, I swear for Lord, in 19 Eskimos. I'm so sick of these people. Mm.
Both of y'all
Victory,
faces.
victory and a yes card. Yep, for walking away with secure documents, some grift of money and shifting votes around. Trump's big lie. Justice for the devil's coming. It's I get he's going to have major anxiety through the courts. So
Shut up!
yes,
I got the same cards.
he will have an indictment, but I get first is like he won't even have the option to run for president again. Like they'll do something to make sure he doesn't even he'll be out of the government. Like he won't have any access to be able to run.
It's probably from him how he handled classified information, dude. Like sedition, yeah, we'll let you off the hook. This other stuff, not so much.
Which I'm wondering, is that their main goal? Is just to make sure that he can't run again?
I would hope so, because he was a global threat, not just to the entire planet.
I think
We
to show
survived.
that America will protect our democracy, I think they have to indict him.
Yeah.
Just for how it will look to other countries where we try to defend democracy. They're going to have to.
I'm wondering though, like to your point, I think when you poll, do you get which one happens? I don't know if you got the order, like which happens first? Is it that they make sure he can't run again first, or is it the indictment that comes first? Which did it give you a particular order, Jen?
I think they make it so he can't run first.
That's what I'm getting. Is that 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups is the challenge. He's out in the cold, and he's not gonna like, because it's not the indictment he's not gonna like. They're making sure that he cannot run again first. That's first and foremost, because the indictment is slow. They're still, because I'm getting yes, but there's gonna be one big one that they know is gonna stick with the Knight of Swords as the outcome. But they're slowly moving forward to make sure that this mother sucker is solid. Devil at the crown, 6 of Pentacles, how he shared, grifted, stole money. And I think whatever they get, God bless it. It's gonna be slow, but it's gonna have this mother sucker son of a gun stressed out.
Yep.
You think he's stressed now? Wait until they get that document.
There isn't enough Adderall in the world. He's gonna stroke out.
You got 6 of Wands too, Jen. I got it too. I get it in the either the solace or the word of warning. So either, I think they're going to, don't count out America yet. He was slow to do this. He's gonna be slow to do the next round. That I think whatever they get, what I'm seeing is whatever they get, it's incontestable. From a legal standpoint, we think there's enough, but we're lay people. For the DOJ, it is like strong. But their first thing is to make sure that he can't run again. Ooh.
If they research his campaign funds and everything, there's all kinds of fraud in that even that they haven't even gotten to.
And it's like, this is the thing with him, dude. He does not know when to stop. It's like, dude, you're in enough trouble. Stop. And he's like, nope. Keep doing more crime. Like, yeah. Or committing more crime to pile on top of the freaking Mount Everest of felonies he's already got stacked, So I get the mice, bear, man, child, and snake. Worried, very worried, anxious, powerful man. So he could be himself, sees himself as a very powerful person, but he's crapping his pants. Also worried about a powerful man, whether that's Merrick Garland or Joe Biden, who knows? But is he going to get in trouble? Oh yeah, he's not innocent. Man, innocent, trouble, liar, betrayer. Here. So is he going to get in trouble? Yeah, he's going to be indicted. He's not innocent. So that's what I'm getting.
Your cards made me laugh. My bear man child is like worried fat man child.
A worried fat man child. That's a liar. Yeah.
Lord Jesus. Okay. 10 of swords. There it is again. 6 of swords, worried about moving forward. He's going to have a lot of trouble doing so because it's crossed by the 10 of swords, which means you may feel as though you're going through a tough time and trying to get to the clear, but the clear is not where you want to go because that's where all your agents and things are waiting for you. Right now, you're just in the midst of trying to find a lawyer that doesn't need a lawyer at the moment. There is something about a governmental position that is also being crossed by the 10 of swords, and so maybe that's what y'all were getting to about keeping him from running. The Knight of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords. This has something to do with what you had done in the White House, and the 5 of Pentacles in the Tower is how it ends. And so every bad card, as they say, that you could possibly get, you got. Don't need the devil because we're talking about him. So there you go.
I mean, I think he'll be dead before anything happens. He'll, like Jen said, he'll probably stroke himself out or something because it's like, this is the first time in his life I think he's ever been held accountable.
Consequences. Anything, Becca. Anything.
This is as close as they've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody raided your house. Like that's never happened to him before.
And look at the funny business that's going on with that attorney Bragg in New York. Even though Letitia James has a mountain of evidence, he's just like, oh, well, we ain't touching it. And that's how it's always been his entire life, except this time you effed with the wrong people. You know, like, so.
I'm sorry. I swear, again, I think the call came from inside the house.
For
Yeah.
what? For
Some of his own people were like, yo, real quick. Look at Tony's closet.
They've been speculating that it was Kushner, who now has a new book out, so he's all over TV and everything. But it's like I don't think Kushner would be stupid enough to rat out his dad. I don't, because he did everything for the money.
Kushner doesn't like Donald Trump.
He doesn't want to go to prison. He saw his daddy go to prison, so Kushner's like, if it's and Donnie.
I mean, he got a pardon for his dad out of.
Everybody got everything they could out the pinata before they threw it away.
Sure did.
no. He got it from the Dollar Tree, so it was
That's an insult to
That's a
pinatas.
pinata I'd like to be for a while.
Pinatas are quite fun until they put a blindfold on you. It's like, okay, don't hit me. Swing up, please. Swing up. Thank you, Larry. Okay. So why did the GOP put Rick Scott in charge of their money?
Oh, Lord. Just hearing his name makes my stomach bubble.
Sitting on a yacht over in Italy on vacation, running from all the questions about where's all the money. A little over $120 million missing. Mr. I scam Medicare, Medicaid, or whatever.
But how dare they give back student $10,000 in student loan money?
Yeah, brand new to the Senate, and they put him in charge of the Senate committee for money. They're not very bright. They're just not very bright.
Where is he at right now?
On a yacht off the coast of Italy.
So he's
But all the people that have donated, all the corporations and stuff, want to know where the money is, Rick.
why?
You got a reputation for making money disappear. Oh, look what keeps falling out in justice. And let's put it back. Look, I'm going to separate them. They're probably going to come back up.
My cards don't make any sense. My cards make no sense.
Mine either means this is more convoluted than we think. Probably.
Yeah, this does not make any cat snatching sense.
I get that there was an organization. I got mountain, garden, snake, he and Lily's, there was an organization before that was in a lot of trouble. Delays or fraud or something within that organization or that network of people was problematic, and they saw that as him having significant experience. So I'm wondering, he defrauded that whole thing with the Medicare scam, and they're like, that's our guy, he's got significant experience because he was able to overcome the problems with that. See, delays, obstacles, problems in that organization, there's trouble again. And then there's your experience. So it's like, I figured, they probably figured, well, he defrauded Medicare and got away with it. So
we can, it's funny because I get like there's dark money in that money. And
that's the challenge.
I'm getting like, there's a little bit of money that they wanted to shift around and stuff out of the total money they had. They were sitting pretty financially, but they didn't want anybody looking into, they were trying to divert anybody from looking into that money and where it came from and where it went. It's he knows how to manipulate the justice system, to overcome that.
That's just crazy, though. Aren't they asking him where the money is right now? Like over 150 million that's missing?
Yeah.
So, some are, but there's some I think that know.
He hid it a little too well, maybe?
There's some that know where it is.
Well, if anybody ends up with a fancy private yacht or a private jet, we
There's-
know where the money went.
There's some that talk to him about moving it.
Yeah.
So
And some who helped him cook it up too and where to put it. Because I think too, Jen, what I'm getting is they were already at a loss. Because I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Why did you put him here? And if we start off with the 3 of Swords, why is that heartbreak, loss, betrayal? How is that starting? And then because the challenge is the dirty money, the 3 of Pentacles, they knew they were at a loss. They were already running at a deficit. They needed somebody who knew how to cook the books, how to hide the loss is what I'm getting, or give them enough diversion to find other money and tuck it away. Because there's a lot of action too. Knight of Wands, 2 of Wands, kind of that waiting, create a diversion until they can rebuild with the strength in the here and now. The thing that this is why dirty people can only do dirty for so long before their own malfeasance comes back to nip them in the behind. He hid the money so well. Y'all did so much stuff that's in the dark hasn't come to light. You cooked up hiding where all of this stuff is. You played yourselves, you idiots, because you're now in balance with the 2 of Pentacles. You have created so much instability. Y'all don't know where your own money is. Did he hide it in the Nike shoebox under the bed? Did he hide it in the underwear drawer? Is it in the safe? How come Ricky
is it in the basement in Mar-a-Lago?
45 million, but they only got 27, but they put in 800 million to get, where is the money? And I'm like, you created this. You put him in again because you were in a deficit. You were in a loss. Your challenge was to bring in more dark money and have him hide the money. Well, guess what? You got what you wanted. That mother sucker hid that money so cat snatching well. And mind you, air quotes, hid money. Y'all completely imbalanced right now. Couldn't happen to dumber people. I swear.
I get why put him in charge, because they believe he had a plan and wisdom for the future here, the Star and the Hierophant, because he's a thief with the High Priestess and the 7 of Swords. That's why. Now, mind you, with the 2 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, he put a wrench in your investments, though, because this is it's out of balance now. You're struggling to juggle because of the actions that he took. Look at the pretty pony, be distracted. Next thing you know, where's my money? Why do you want to know where your money is? It was a donation, which means it's gone. The moment it left you, it left your concern. Unless you were trying to buy something specifically and didn't get your return, then say that. So if you were trying to pay for politicians, that's what we would like to hear. But if
But
you were not trying to do that, what's it matter?
I mean,
That's
you
what
would think,
they're
like
so
any organization, they'd have a regular meeting and say, okay, meeting, come to order. Okay, we have this much in the treasury. How are we going to like divide this up amongst everybody that's running right now in the midterms? Like, does it not come up? And
not to mention the millions of dollars the RNC has agreed to pay in Donald Trump's legal bills. Not just him, his kids too.
yeah,
So right that Titanic all the way to the bottom. I mean,
Well, speaking of sinking ships, Truth Social, which cannot get its copyright because there are too many other things out in the world called Truth Social.
like, wouldn't that be the first thing you would try to lock up as your copyright before you launch it? What idiots! That's like number one. Before I throw a name on this whole app,
You get your trademark first.
you get your
and foremost.
copyright.
Mhm. Can we do a reading on the health of Truth Social? Is it doomed? Is it going to make a recovery or what?
Kevin Nunes, how you doing over there now on Truth Social?
Didn't they just like not? They didn't pay their hosting.
They're not paying bills.
$1.8 million right now they have not paid to the people that they owe.
That's no surprise because Trump never pays his bills.
Is it?
He
And
doesn't
so
pay
the people who
contractors.
are investing in it, though, are having problems with it going public when you can't get your trademark and you can't get your this and you can't get your that. And I mean, but you know what? Okay, here's the thing, though. You hear investment opportunity followed by the words Donald Trump, you say no, thank you.
Mhm.
I mean,
That
sure.
is-
I don't know how to read stock reports, but I do know one thing. They look at trends. That's the main thing that I've been told. You look at trends. You can see where things are going to go. Donald Trump has a trend of bankruptcy and default and not paying bills. Why do you invest with it? It's a whole different thing. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I don't like my answer.
Mm-mm.
I'm disappointed in my answer.
My guides are being real petty in my ear right now. Yeah, he's looking for charity. They're broke. It's like they're not accepting it, but they're looking for all their money. They're very, very burdened. They're looking for donations. But I get, like this is about to be the end of Truth Social, but there's going to be a new network that they're going to manipulate and grift from, that they're going to get going, and it's going to be basically treason and the devil and the apprentice.
Yeah.
See.
They're either going to get bailed out or they're going to start anew because they're already withdrawing and retreating. The challenge, though, again, is that we don't know because something hasn't come to light yet. I could see what Jen is saying about them going ahead and abandoning this and starting something new and using this as a way to grift to get more money. Yeah, it's just with the 9 of Swords and the Queen of Swords, they know the jig is up. It's they're stressed. This was supposed to be easy grift number 1, and it's not quite as easy as they thought it would be. But here's you got your Donnie here in that Donnie type energy and the emotions. They're gonna win though. In the environment, they're in it to win it. They're gonna win at all costs. I think the GOP has got somebody, either the GOP or the 10 of Cups, but this could be the Trump base. They're going to find ways to grift some more money from them again to keep something floating. Because they already have them. They've got them in their back pocket with the Lovers. That's how this whole thing started. So don't get mad. Don't be surprised. Just know that a sucker's being parted with his money.
So I do a double line of 5. The top line is woman, birds, anchor, child, and hawks. There's a woman that's looking to have meetings or negotiate something because there's new investigations that have to do with fraud. The second line is garden, stars, tower, bear, coffin. The social network itself and the company goes bankrupt.
And they are being investigated. DOJ's investigating them. And
DOJ is investigating.
it's either it's DOJ, but I think it's the SEC or somebody's investigating them.
Well, there's a woman that's leading it here. So I don't know who that is. There's a woman interviewing holding networks, new investigations, fraud, and then here it shows the social media financially bankrupt this way in closing. So
It's just another place to launder money.
Yeah, and defrauding is defrauding the people, defrauding the investors. This right here would be investors, lots of corporations or institutions with lots of resources, so whatever.
I get there's some sort of separation here of investors. I get the Ace of Pentacles, that initial investment or opportunity to make money, and the Three of Swords. And there's the Devil and the Four of Swords. There's also trying to separate. There is a resurgence of some sort, because I get the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So there's a new action taken by new people. There's two women here with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. So they're trying to take some sort of initiative for something over time. So Trump is sort of the reason people are over there, but there seems to be some sort of desire to separate from him, or some sort of take him and maybe just use him as a figurehead instead of control of the company or something of that nature. They're trying to separate him some way, somehow from Truth Social and then make it something else or make it more successful. But right now they're losing a bunch of money. And if this continues, then they're going to be isolated, and it's just going to be what happened last year type of thing instead of some sort of competition for Twitter.
I'm seeing here from Terry, a federal grand jury in Manhattan has issued subpoenas regarding the merger, which is also under investigation by federal regulators. I didn't know that. Wondering if there's a woman that's heading it or something, because I got woman birds, so I don't know who that is. That wouldn't be Letitia James, though, if it's federal.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So we'll go from the horrible people to some nice people here. There is a child named Maxwell Frost. He is on track, if he wins, to be the first Gen Z in Congress in the Florida's 10th congressional district. So what are his chances of actually winning? He has one nomination. Maxwell Frost.
Maxwell Frost. I remember reading his story.
Don't let us down, Gen Z. Help us out, man. Because I'm saying all these old ass Republicans that can't figure out that the party of Reagan is dead. Like my father-in-law. We need to be safe from those people, because it's just.
He's got a chance. It just may take a while. It may not be this election, but I do see that. Yeah, actually, it may not be, or it's going to be very close this election, because in his word of warning is actually being out in the cold with the Five of Pentacles. But I get, like, one of my yes cards is the outcome, but the Ace of Pentacles, yes. But that challenge for him is going to have to be getting that support. If he can getting support from young Republicans, I don't know how. That's just what I'm picking up with Ten of Cups. Like, if he can get people who can cross over and kind of change their minds, that can be his ticket. But his challenge is just very slow movement with the slow progression with the Chariot. He can do it. He can pull it off. even if it's not this particular one, maybe 2024. If he can't do 2022, 2024, but he's going to pick up people. It's going to be slow movement. So don't count him out yet. Or if it looks too tight or too close, just know that it may not be this one. It could be the next one.
Yeah, I get don't concede at all because there's some sort of betrayal going on. I get that he wins by a small majority, that he gets a small lead, but he's going to have to fight for it because, the devil wants to bring it into him. But I get he does win by a small percentage.
Now, this is in Florida?
Uh-huh.
And he's running for Congress?
Yeah. For
I
the
only
House.
pulled one card. I get son. That's a yes.
That's a yes.
But I only pulled one. So.
Now, mind you, and it's Val Deming's district, I do believe, so it's possible. I get, though, with the Two of Cups in the Page of Wands, his challenge is going to be manipulated by his youth, so they're going to try to use that against him type of thing. But that's actually one thing that's magnetizing a lot of people to him. But the devil is quite strong. And so his challenge is going to be quite large to overcome. It ends in the Chariot, which means this is very possible. This is a victory card, but you do need everything to flow in the right direction at the same time. So the Chariot is very precarious because, yes, you can win, but in the Chariot card, in the traditional depiction, this person up here, the Sphinx are laying down. They're facing opposite directions. They have different ideals, one white, one black. He has no reins, so he cannot make them do anything. This is something where you have to use diplomacy and your will and your wit and your charm and all that stuff to make things go in the same direction at the same time. So he can do this, but it's going to be quite difficult. And like I said, the devil is quite strong. So this is going to be a mountain to overcome. But he can do it. Okay, Val Demings then. Can she beat Rubio? What are her chances? Oh, mercy.
God, dog, no.
Ooh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close, but I get celebrations and climbing to higher ground over the devil. It's going to be close, so slim lead will be the woman. Slim margin. It'll probably end up going to court, so recounts or whatever. Slim margin.
He was on Fox News the other day begging for money. Marco Rubio.
She cannot give up. Do not concede, because the outcome card is the Seven of Wands. Do not concede. Fight. Perseverance. In her emotions, I would also tell her to be think like a Republican. Be as conniving and manipulative and tricksy as you can. Because it started off with me with no. Thank you, Margaret Perry, for the donation to Johnny's channel.
Thank you.
Very slow movement, because the GOPs are the crown of this with the crown, my GOP card, and Nine of Pentacles. They're gonna either buy their way in it or financially cheat their way in, like they always typically do. So I just need her to not give up. She's smart. She knows. Don't concede. Take that mother sucker to court, just like Jen said.
I only pulled one card, but I got a yes. That Val Demings will win. Well, I think she's like mopping the floor with him on the polls right now. Not that it translates to actual votes, but you know.
Good no. I get the 5 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. There's something a bit hazy there. The Temperance and the 3 of Swords, and then it ends in the 5 of Wands. She gets the support though.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what will happen if they'll just, oops, we accidentally purged all the voters. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like they're just so.
Because the word of warning is the Hermit. Something's in isolation. So I don't know if people are going to have issues with voting booths, or they're being spaced out, or something shortening hours, or something goes wrong. But forewarned is forearmed. So, you know. She ain't new to this, so she can find a way. Cards don't know everything.
Playbook. They're sitting there every election they lose. No, you didn't. Play the same thing. Except have the right to do it because they all freaking cheat, you know?
That crazy Lori Looney Laura, Lori la, who lost her primary, mind you, and was screaming about it was election fraud and recount the ballot. Like, you lost to another
Against her own party.
Against her own party. Well, here's the thing: she's Jewish, and she's screaming to become for white nationalism, white Christian nationalism. I'm like, you do realize you're the enemy to that group. Like,
Thank you, Taylor.
She was like screaming, like
crying, all that.
Down yet.
She was crying like they took this from us. They took this.
She said, like flagrantly inciting riots too, like telling them to go burn and loot. I was like, wow, y'all are gonna implode on yourselves.
I mean, by all means, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's see how many we can lock up before midterm.
Before the next election.
Or mess around and get shot.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all locking up black and brown people for nothing.
Yeah.
About throwing some crazy white folk in jail too. You know.
The Satan versus Christ. What is Christ's chances? Christ of beating DeSantis.
I did a recording on this earlier today, so I'm gonna the video will come out later this week. I'm gonna see if I get the same answer.
I love how
I did a reading with Tanya. What's the child's channel? Tea with Tanya. We did this question. So I'll see if I get the same thing.
I love how Gavin Newsom's going down there and giving the Satan hell.
Oh, hell.
Charlie Chris, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. As it stands right now, hold on, a little clarifier. Oh, really? Son of a gun. Okay, there we go. As it stands right now, that's interesting though, because the Fool is a new journey. And if he's reelected, that's not a new journey. Okay, Charlie's ends in the tower, so we'll just leave it at that. DeSantis ends. DeSantis is more favorable, primarily because of dark money collaboration. So need I say more? Charlie's is he's gonna try to bank on actions that he took in the past. Like that's gonna be what he's gonna try to run on, and that's not gonna be enough. It's not going to be enough because there's also something he did in the past that just was. Don't run on the past if the past wasn't favorable for you.
He was a Republican who's now running as a Democrat.
And there was I'm trying to be polite. There's things that he did that is not favorable that the Democrats are going to be like, no.
Yeah.
He's not going to he's just not going to get enough support. And I don't think enough is going to be enough to get people. I just don't see it.
I don't think people are trusting him because of his previous stance on abortion, and now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned and people are seeing the consequences, they're kind of side-eyeing him because it just seems they don't trust him how he went from one thing to a completely different thing, you know?
And not just Roe v. Wade, he was also like super Second Amendment, and then Parkland happened. There's several things that he was super, 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 and not just like conservative right. I mean, like pretty far right. And so I just think his past is gonna come to bite him.
Oh man.
I get it. I get it. No cards with him losing. No. He can put up a good fight through the courts if he wants to try to, change this. So there is obviously election meddling showing up for me in Florida, big time.
Yeah, when
It's like everything keeps showing up, like going to court, trying to secure something through court. But I don't think even going through court, he's going to be able to secure it.
I mean, you got to think about the crafty little bastard that's in there right now as the governor.
Yeah.
You know, what is he going to do? Purge women, purge gays, purge transgender, purge the elderly, purge everybody. Only people in my district are allowed to vote. You know, like, I get no, it's a very important desire, but no. I drew one card. That's what I got. No. Then I clarified with these.
Yeah.
I get this.
Or where they see him as a very passionate liar. Do you see what I'm saying? There's not trust here with him. So, sorry, I'll shut up.
I get DeSantis. Because they both are male with the running mate female. So that's what I got the last time. But I get DeSantis as the victor. He is the earth sign man. I mean, it's Florida. So, I mean.
Yeah. Why do you think I left that place and never went back? I was like, bye-bye.
Bless y'all's hearts. Okay. Well, another one. Blake Masters, I believe is his name, is in Arizona. And he has now scrubbed his website to make it sound like he's a little more softer on abortion. Because first he was like, no abortions, period. It's horrible. Now he's like late term abortions is wrong, but everything else is fine because he's trying to soften his message a little bit. Now the GOP has also pledged $10 million to his campaign and has now rescinded that offer. And it has now been put on pause. They said that towards October, they will donate money to his campaign, but as of right now, it has been put on pause, probably because of his shift. I don't know. So what chances does he have with running for office? Because he is now short on money and confused on his message. He's running against Mark Kelly, I believe.
What's the guy's name, Joe?
Blake Masters.
Blake Masters.
Is he the one that is a member of the Oath Creepers and went to DC January 6th and all that?
I don't think, no, that was the QAnon man, I think.
Okay. I can't keep up with all the scumbags.
It might
Too many
be
of
one
you.
of them.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is the guy going up against Mark Kelly.
Well, they were all at Jan 6, so it's probably him too.
I get no women are going to beat him to death. Women whip and coffin. Women coming over your house to beat your ass to put you in the ground. No. Yeah.
I get he's blocked in the environment. His word of warning, he's going to have to go to higher ground. So I think possibly not. He wants this. He thinks it's a shoe-in and the emotions with the 3 of Cups. But I think this is actually Mark Kelly at the base. I think because he's already in Congress. So I think he's just going to be too hard to beat. His wishy-washiness and all of that he just, no abortion, yes abortion, maybe abortion. There's going to be something else he's going to flip-flop on. That's going to come back to bite him in the behind. And plus, Kelly, if memory serves, Mark Kelly won pretty bigly the last time, too.
Yeah. I get he's waiting on votes. People turn their back on him. He's stuck. He's not going anywhere. And when I pulled on Mark Kelly, I get celebrations, good news, and the win. Yippee!
No, he does. I get his, in the word of warning, temperance. Nobody's going to work with you. There's some sort of defeat. Very, very strong bully. He may have to change his stance again, which then makes him wishy-washy. But there's a very, very strong bully that is. I mean, lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas. Play with the devil, you're going to get burned. So he's going to have to accept that, take the knock this time, and then make sure you stay on script the next time. Type of thing. Now, mind you, the Supreme Court didn't effed up all y'all's party. So, this was not supposed to happen this way.
No. Sure wasn't. The people you bought and paid for screwed you over, mind you.
Buyer beware.
Buyers
Okay.
remember.
This fool here, North Carolina, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. At first, he was in the news because he's a Republican and he don't like gay people. Okay, fine. Now he's gone full blown nutso. He's ruminating. Maybe he should run for governor of North Carolina at one point in 2024. So I want to know what his chances are. Now, mind you, he has just retracted a statement he made about children should not learn science in school. Children should not learn, it was another history in school. They shouldn't learn those things in school because those in particular things, I guess he is saying, could mold your child's mind, and that's something parents should do. And so he has now taken that back and said he didn't mean it that way. But your statements, they're in quotations, which means you wrote this down or said this somewhere. So he doesn't think your child should learn anything in school except maybe math. And he has now taken that back, but he wants to run for governor, maybe, he said, in 2024. What are his chances? He is the lieutenant governor currently. But he has criticized the actual governor, too, saying that he has not been strict enough upon this and that.
I got news for all these people that think that they can control their child's minds and the way they raise them and everything. Bullshit. Your kids are going to figure it out on their own somehow.
And also, don't piss off teachers. They are thicker than any kind of police union you can ever imagine, and they will squirt you. Do not piss off educators. I don't like this answer. I want to read again. Chances in 2024.
Reading, writing, and math, that's it. No history, no science. We don't need to talk about equity or social justice. Mind you, he's black. I can't.
I'm so embarrassed right now.
I can't.
You know, I don't get he gets governor. I blocked from that. All my note cards. But I get he gets offered some kind of speaking role for the Republicans. So there's something else he's going to get offered, but I don't get governor.
That would be interesting because he would be a good token because he's black and he says stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm. He's got to run to plant some seeds, but it's so funny. He's not going to. I think, Jen, you're right, because I couldn't figure out. He's a great mouthpiece. He's also going to bring in a lot of money. he's going to say just enough stupid stuff to bring in money. But I don't think he's going to win his primary. Whatever this is, though, when him running for governor, it's going to start something new with the Empress. It's planting the seed for something new. But I don't think he's going to get. I'm actually more worried about this planting the seed for something new, being a spokesperson, whatever, than I am about him being governor. Because whatever this new thing is actually terrifies me.
Me too. There's the High Priestess and the Empress. This is something new. It has nothing to do with his governorship, though. This is kind of a smokescreen with that, so he's not getting that at all. The Eight of Swords and the Temperance, he's already sort of being pigeonholed into being a specific type of person. So they need him to talk. Because, mind you, all of the things that they say he repeats. And so now he's saying, I want your kids to be stupid too. So that's a Republican message if I've ever heard one, because DeSantis is saying the same thing. And look at his little social network prominence has lifted too. And they're talking about he's about to run for president possibly and da. So yeah, I can't. Okay. This is another way to ask it, because of course we'll get this question every week. Who's going to take the Senate? Who's going to take the House? Who's going to take the this? Biden has pledged to ban assault weapons if they get control of the House and the Senate. If they keep control of the House and gain control of the Senate. So will he, or what is the likelihood of him banning assault weapons?
I can't imagine anybody's going to vote for Herschel Walker down in Georgia. What was it? He was comparing himself to Jesus last week.
And don't say that. I don't say that. I know my former state of residence. Do not say that.
I just,
is that where Marjorie comes from, though?
Yep.
Compared to Raphael Warnock, though, their other choice, it's like.
But they hate Democrats so much.
Yeah, but isn't that the seat that John Lewis held for so long?
I thought that was what's his name seat.
Or was that
my secret husband. He don't know we're married, but we're married. I'll call that boy Joel Osteen. Try it again. What's his name? J.O. The other one.
Ossoff?
Yeah, John Ossoff. I said Joel Osteen. Forgive me. I just say never, Jen.
That's what we said for Trump, though.
Mm-hmm.
They're clearly saying that about Dr. Oz, too.
Yep. So it's.
He just keeps getting like so bad, and I'm here for it, for that stupid Dr. Oz. I just saw a picture on Twitter where they were holding the sign upside down and saying Oz, it said no.
Yeah, they turn it sideways and it spells no instead of Oz.
Boy, he had me fooled. I fell for TV magic. I really did. I really did.
Don't come for me in the chats. Don't steal my secret husband. Don't. He doesn't know we're married, but we are. Sure does like you, girl. Jen, what do you get?
I'm still pulling. I get Biden gets the votes. Something that he's been working on for a long time. I get 2 of my yes cards. Like there's enough. The devil is thrown off balance.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Biden will get through more of his agenda.
There is what gives me hope is this card here with the 6 of Swords being in the environment, walking away, better things coming. The challenge, though, is that the Republicans are going to want to try to hold on, block, do whatever. Even if let's just say, perceivably, if this happens, it's because his ability to even bring this up is because we have control. They're still going to try to block and hold on to whatever they have. But it ends with the sun, so there's some positivity. I think, too, we're going to leave our old way of doing this, old way of, I think it could possibly happen. I'm going to be optimistic.
I got a yes. Biden showed up all by himself. Man, dog, whip, bear, ring. Yeah, he's loyal and committed. The abuse here, the fighting the abuse, but he clings to power and it gets resolved. So I got a yes. Go down. Because the violence and the attacks they're just continual. You see? They just keep repeating. There's a repetition and a pattern, and it just keeps going and going, but he's got the commitment and the promise to do it. So, yeah.
I get yes, too. That's quite, I mean, according to the Steve Kornacki, the switching of the midterms happens all the time with the other party gaining power. I think he said Bush in the time of war and Clinton in the time of impeachment is the only time it didn't happen. And everybody else has had a switch in the midterms. So he was predicting, of course, it's still going to happen this way because America likes a dysfunctional government. We just don't. We come out in the presidential elections and sleep on the rest of them. Even your local ones, your sheriffs, your judges, your blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
Boards, everything.
But I get the leader, the hermit. There is something that they do take up, try to get answers on, maybe take up committee advice and things of that nature, but it ends in the Ace of Wands. There's the estimating action. There's the star as well. This is even my card for weapons. And so, okay, prove it. But
I mean, the Republicans painted themselves into a corner. You allowed 4 years of a terrorist running the country. The truth is coming out. You poke the bear with taking away women's rights. Mm-hmm. You vocally came out and said you're coming after gays, you're coming after people of color, you're coming after Social Security, you're coming after Medicare. You done messed with this is not the time to put your agenda out there when it's so incredibly unpopular. Keep your mouth shut.
You would think they would stop that Social Security thing since most of their voting base is 65 and older.
Johnny,
I don't get the argument ever single year.
My father-in-law is on board with repealing Social Security because in his mind, he gets to keep his. The rest of us are the ones that are going to get screwed. So it's like, are you suggesting...
Just like people on socialists hate socialism but take Social Security.
Yeah. So are you suggesting that they're going to sit there and account for every single penny I have ever paid into Social Security and Medicare and write me a check? No, that money is going to disappear. So what makes you feel that you're so entitled because you're older than me, but my contribution doesn't count? Yeah. And that's my own father-in-law. And he's Republican and he's on Social Security and he's totally cool with getting rid of the entitlement programs.
I just think the party of freedoms and less government are the ones that want to take away a lot of our freedoms.
Not even just ours, take away their own. They always vote against their own interests. It's so wild to me.
Yeah,
it's all for the wealthy and the corporations.
Yeah, so long as you point the finger at the black and brown people and the gays and you other everybody else, so you don't see that we're the ones stealing from you. So
I want to look specifically at the Senate and see if anybody in the Senate currently will be indicted before 2024 instead of the midterms. Indicted, not convicted, and thrown in jail under the jail. Just indicted before
Senate, not all of Congress, just the Senate.
Just the Senate. Because that changes the number since it's only 100 of them altogether.
Which means we can come in and run that girl.
See, somebody's going to be caught with pedophilia again before too long. It's only a matter of time with them.
You know, because Matt Gaetz has still been investigated, and it seems interesting because this is going on a very long time. So if he was innocent, you would think it had been done, you know.
And as we're talking of Matt Gaetz, the lover's card falls out.
You said current member of the Senate, correct, Johnny?
Yes, ma'am.
I get a yes, and there's a woman leading it, the decision. So I don't know if that's Lindsey Graham or somebody else. Because this is the first card I pulled, and that's a yes. And I pulled two more, and I get women and crossroads. There's a woman here with elections. So I don't know if that's Lindsey Graham with the phone call about
Fannie Wilson.
Fannie
She showed.
So there could be two women as well, because this one here is the Queen of Diamonds with crossroads. So, but I get a yes. So
She shows up for me too, Becca, in the environment as the Queen of Wands. Whoever this woman is, she's going to be responsible. I get yes. There's some people who come to lay down. Starts off with the Four of Swords. The challenge is the actual judgment, the indictment. It is in the Republican Party. I mean, obviously, but you know, Spirit just wanted to clarify for me. So yes, it is. It's going to be at least two. It's going to be at least two.
that's what I get also with the crossroads. At least two of them.
At least two.
Little Johnny Fortescue decided to make an appearance.
Hi, little Johnny.
Little
Did
skewy.
did he come up from his nap by the food bowl?
Yeah. He just lays in the middle of the floor. You're like, you go to step over him, and he moves where you are moving your foot to step over him. He moves to lay right under the foot coming down. I'm like, Cat, you're gonna get squished.
He's like, Mom, I'm too fat and happy. I need to take a nap.
I get yes, and I get at least 3 for involvement with the riot, with the insurrection. I get there's also a woman that may be brought up. I get a man over sexual. We know who that is. And then somebody campaign finance or something to do with money. But I get yes.
Couldn't happen to better people.
I get yes, it's a man who was formerly or currently on a committee of some sort. Could be a water sign man with the King of Cups, or just an emotional person. The Strength in the Tower. So they were formerly, it may come as a bit of a surprise, just as a bit of a surprise, because they may have been in a position where they appear to be strong or appear to have a good defense built up, to where, you can't get them because there's not hardcore proof, or there's not this and that. But somebody got something, homeboy, because the word of solace is the Ace of Swords. There's your truth and your clarity coming out there.
Water sign man? Isn't Lindsey Graham a water sign man?
He is,
He
I
is.
believe. Or
And
very
The
emotional.
cancer.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. What Johnny just said, that it may come as a surprise. I think that the judge just granted him that thing where he was trying to, you know what I'm talking about, Adrian?
Mm-hmm.
Where he got a little bit of an out because
With Georgia, having to testify in Georgia.
Yeah. What did he get off on?
He got like a little bit of a like, okay, you don't have to come right now. I'll let you kind of figure out how you're gonna come, but you still gotta come.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it has something to do with him working in his official capacity. I'm like, I'm sorry, picking up the phone and calling a state you don't represent to tell them to throw out votes does not seem like you're working in your official capacity, but okay.
Okay. Should we do that? Yeah, let's do that. I read on this. I want to see what y'all get. What is with the Taiwan visits? Why are they going to Taiwan? Because this is aggravating the heck out of China. And Marsha Blackburn, who is a Republican, just went over there. She called Taiwan a country, which is fighting words, literally, in China. She says she's not scared of Xi. And Nancy Pelosi went over there right after she left. They started sending naval warships through the Taiwan Strait for the first time since she's been there currently. And so Why are they going back and forth to Taiwan? Why
It's
are they?
interesting. Like they gave Nancy so much crap for going over there and stirring
Said
stuff up, and
nothing
then Marsha
about Marsha.
Blackburn goes over.
Said nothing about Marsha.
And mind you, the president of Taiwan is listed in Google as the president of China. So they won't even call it the president of Taiwan because that would make it its own country, I suppose. Nobody wants to piss off China, I guess, but they're doing it.
And I was traveling to Taiwan and China and Hong Kong and everything before China started, tried to take over Taiwan and take over Hong Kong and everything, to watch the change in the dynamics over there when you're traveling and working. It's really interesting to watch. But America has always backed up Taiwan as an independent country. Yeah, independence. Independence. That's what it's all comes down to, making sure that they can break away from China without any burdens. Sending a strong message to China across the waters there.
Indirect financial support and alliance to show that we're aligned with them. It may not be like, hey, we're going to give you a whole bunch of money, but hey, we're going to continue to trade, or we're going to find you. We're not going to block you financially. We're going to go shake hands, be friends with the Two of Cups. So we see eye to eye. I recognize your struggle, so let you know we got you. So yeah, and just again, trying to. It's an good freaking frackety frack on that. You don't hold any cards. Community, again, we recognize you as almost sovereign, independent state with the Four of Wands.
New learning about possible abuses and attacks. Learning about that opportunity for business and independence. So,
Last time I did this, I got kind of the same thing here too. Five of Wands, Nine of Swords, High Priest is something that China did. And this is kind of a troll move by the U.S., maybe a little middle finger. I think China supported Russia some way, somehow. And we didn't like that so much. Because there's your fighting, your high priestess, there's something in secret. They're not going to come out and say why. They're just going to keep doing it. And you can't stop them. And then the Nine of Swords, there's some sort of worry, but it has something to do with a foreign leader, and you gave them something with the Six of Pentacles. Which is money or finances or resources. But speaking of which, Jen Lynn Tarots, would you like to tell us about the goat question?
Well, for those who remember back in, I think it was February, where we were looking at, did the sanctions against Russia hurt Trump's pocket? And Becca went on this rant about, as Melania, about Baba the goat herder having more money than Donald Trump. And that she was going to go live with Baba the goat herder. Well, apparently Trump has like 10 goats at Bedminster so that he could also classify it as farm and get a discount on taxes and stuff. So I want to know, is that how Melania met Baba the goat herder? Because if you've got 10 goats, you got to have a goat herder.
I'm not even going to tell you the things that are going through my mind right now.
is that how Melania met Baba the goat herder?
I've got my golf plots. I've got my goats over here on the side, and come golf with me.
I'm a funeral home, apparently, in a grave cemetery.
That's the golf plots.
Oh.
You were with us the night, Adrian, when we were reading on, is he going to get permission to bury people at Bedminster? We were all getting no. And
He found a way to do it anyway.
Johnny, can I ask a stupid question after this one? Is that okay with you? Okay.
There are no such thing as stupid questions.
Well, it's a petty question, so I think maybe you'll be down with it. I don't know.
Whoa. The goat herder does have more money. She really likes that goat herder. Yes, she did. Absolutely, she did. I mean, he got money, big money. Yeah, they creeping on the side.
I mean, anything from Trump is a step up. So, you know.
I mean, fair, very fair.
I get he's got a job, you know, but yes, that's you know where they met. You know, there he is looking around for his goats. And this kind of built up over time, this bond between them. But he's got a job, and she's spending more time with Baba these days than she is with her family.
I got the chariot. Did you get the chariot? Because it said for me, it said it was a slow relation. They slowly came to.
I've got the Hangman and Temperance, which tells me slow. But yeah, she's moved there. She's living there most of the time now. So she's spending more time there than Mar-a-Lago or Trump Towers. She's
having to roll around in the hay, literally.
Roll around in the hay.
In the barn.
Either way, we live a pile of manure. So
she met him. She met him on the property. Yes, that's about the goat herder.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carl. I get he is smarter and regular, so that's and I'll be delicate with the regular part.
My brain went to his incontinence, but you know, whatever.
I mean, healthy balance, that's fine too. But he's regular. He can his blood flows in the right places at the right time. There you go.
It's not a wish or a prayer for him.
And he's smarter, so his stuff works. What's your question, Becca Lenore?
So, Joe Biden has recently waived student loans for people making under $75,000 a year. And Republicans lost their ever-loving minds, screaming at the top of their lungs that it's not fair, and and people that didn't go to college shouldn't pay for college. Well, the White House just recently hired this lady. I forget what magazine she was on. I think it was like the New Yorker or something. And she has done nothing but clap back at these people when they all started screaming about how unfair it is to waive student loan debt. And
why is it unfair?
Because why should we pay for you when we don't want to go to school and blah, 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 blah.
They say it's using tax dollar money to pay off.
So did the PPP loans.
Again, well, that's what the White House reminded them via Twitter on Friday night.
We put up a whole list of everybody and how much they took from PPP and didn't pay back.
They called it Dark Brandon.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene was out there screaming about how it's unfair, and they clapped back at her like, you got $186,500 and something of PPP that you didn't have to pay back. There was another Republican that was screaming about it, and then they clapped back that, well, you took $2.1 million in PPP that was forgiven. Mind you, these are Congress people with extensive portfolios because they have access to information that the rest of us don't have. And you would be foolish to think they don't go call their person and go, hey, put some money in this because, you know, we're getting ready to pass a bill. You know, so whoever's in charge, the woman that's in charge of that account has been clapping back and getting so damn petty. Like there was another tweet, somebody tweeted something and like, who gave the White House permission to do this, blah, 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 blah. And she replied back, your mom. You know, like she is petty. She is petty and I love her. So
it's the way all Democrats need to be with these Republicans. It is so on point.
Yep, just so short, concise, to the point, clap back. So how do the Republicans, the people that are screaming about student loan forgiveness, they're saying Matt Gaetz took 1.3 million. There was another guy that took 2.1 million.
Yep.
And you're going to cry about
we can't forgive student loan debt.
$400,000 worth of student loan debts if they went to medical school, you know. So how are they feeling about getting called out? I'm like, yes, keep her on the payroll. Give that woman a raise, man, because I'm here for the petty, like clap back all day, all night.
We're like, she's going to get the Presidential Medal of Honor next year.
We should invite her to the Petty Boots Club.
And then when she's done there, make her the White House press corps so she can clap back at that moron from Fox News all day.
Good God. $10,000 student loan debt you forgive when you greasy have $10 million, $1 million, $800,000.
And mind you, there's a couple in Florida who both used their PPP loans to pay off their $190,000 worth of student loan debt.
Yeah.
And got called out on Fox News they got called out because Fox News did this whole expose about, I don't understand why you guys can't pay back your loans. Look at this couple who did it in 27 months. They paid off their student loans. And then it says smart budgeting, like telling us that if we just budgeted better, we could pay off. Mind you, $10,000 is about a year and a half of interest, you guys.
Not payment. Interest.
I cannot tell you how many thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars I have paid in student loan debt that hasn't even touched the principal.
And here's the thing, Mitch McConnell was going on a tirade about it, and was it Elizabeth Warren that called him out saying that, yeah, when you went to college, your tuition was $300.
$300, stupid malacas.
$300.
So how do they feel about getting called out on their hypocrisy? I mean, I'm here for it. I am so here for it.
I think you would have to feel like you didn't do anything wrong in order to be shamed.
Yeah, it takes
a conscience.
Yeah, these people are
everything clean. I don't think they have it. What I do think, though, is that there's a movement, and the movement happened with younger people. This built strength with some younger potential voters, and they're never going to look at those people the same again. And it may have energized them, because what it's telling me is that Ten of Swords, Two of Wands, and Wheel of Fortune, it's like the jig is up because there's strength. There are kids now, people now, who see the light that coming out and being exposed, and their deflection is they're like, you know what, this has energized me to go stick it to you. So I'm not getting how they're like emotionally not impacted, because there's no emotions, there are no cups, but it's telling me that their response is they're not going to see that the bus is about to hit them.
Until it's the thunk.
Yeah, until it's.
You know, that's Marjorie Taylor Greene, and you're too stupid. You're sitting over there in the ditch going, "But my tax dollars."
Mm-hmm.
You know?
They don't realize what they're opening their mouth, what that did. They should have just shut up.
Yeah, they're reaping what they sowed now. It's like the messaging is coming out very powerful, as a leader with, Biden. And they're feeling like their hidden agenda, so to speak, is out in the cold now. They're everything that they had planned to do as Republicans. So I get like they're watching like the work that is being done, and people celebrating Biden and his wins and things, and watching this messaging. They're afraid it will tarnish Trump's image, and also is fueling more people to vote in November.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to learn to quit messing.
Keep
One
it
way or the other. The Democrats shouldn't sit there and, let's take the high road, and then let Republicans control the narrative. That's not. What'd you get, Johnny?
I get they're aggravated. Here's the people in the government here, and they are obsessing because someone's taking mind you, she is taking the higher ground. Because she can get down and dirty, I'm pretty sure. And she ain't called nobody a MFer or said she was going to kick you in the crotch with her steel-toe boot or nothing like that. She just giving you the clapbacks, and you can't handle it because that's usually coming from y'all side. And so now that you got somebody to fight back and scratch and claw, I'm here for it. I need to just create a Twitter account just so I can follow her. So
Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, whose first response is to just call for violence. You know, it's like, anyways, I get the trusted person at work on Twitter, cutting and precise to the point messaging. So how are they feeling? How they're trusted and manipulating the message, that gets cut off and it doesn't move forward. And then here the person that is trusted, their message is delivered. The manipulation is cut this way. So with her being very smart and concise in her speech, she's able to cut it off here.
I think this is the beginning of a new tactic.
Yeah. Yep. Call it out.
They're
Call it
learning
out.
to fight.
Yep.
You know, succinctly, precisely, to the point, period. And let it
Get
go.
ready.
My tongue wasn't in my cheek when I was like, she may F around and get a Presidential Medal of Honor.
No, I think she should. You know, it's like you can't let these crazies control the narrative and then just be like, oh, well, you know, we need to be diplomatic. And no, these people are crazy. They're nuts. They're off the deep end in outer space somewhere, you know? So
Michelle Obama says that one of her regrets, in a way, was telling us to go high when they go low.
get in the mud and get dirty. That's what I say.
And I say that, I mean, because that's nice, you know, that's what
Right.
you're supposed to say. But when they go low, you thank them for being in a position that I can kick
I
you
can
in
kick you in the face.
That's what I say.
Scotty.
Absolutely.
But thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Adrian, for
Thank you
joining
for
us.
having me.
This is my first session back on the Sundays, and so I had a cobweb or two trying to get this set up. But anyhow,
With Adrian.
we will see y'all next week on Jen Lynn's channel, and I will see y'all tomorrow at 5, 6, 7, and 8 Eastern for the live stream. I got some more questions to go through, so see y'all then.
Bye, guys.